Hi everyone, welcome to episode 102 of the Happy Hustle Show. Today I am talking about shiny object syndrome. I've had a couple of conversations over the last week with people who are definitely getting distracted by shiny object syndrome. And again, like everything, I'm not saying this in judgment, like it doesn't happen to me, it totally does. So I want to share with you when to act on shiny object syndrome and when not to, so that you can keep your side hustle in order. Hi, Cassie. Lovely to see you. Cassie, you're in Newcastle area. Is that right? You in Newcastle? Somewhere around there tonight? I hope your hotel is decent. Yes, so shiny object syndrome is something that I have definitely suffered from. Probably not the right Gateshead. I knew it was that area. And hopefully decent Wi-Fi then, Cassie. Hopefully you can pick this up okay. Yeah, it's definitely something that I have been distracted with over the years. Shiny object syndrome is how your side hustle evolves. So there's nothing wrong with it. Like, it's great to be excited. So the whole point of a happy side hustle is to work out what brings you joy and monetize it. So if you find something else that brings you joy and you want to evolve into that, absolutely. And Cassie, you're the perfect example of that. So you have evolved as you've been on your side hustle journey. I'm not talking about that as such. I'm talking about the situation where, say, you're very good at making things and you've decided that you're going to make X, so um, let's say theoretically you make hand stamp jewelry. Let's take my situation. Oh, Sheila, yeah, can't wait. This is going to be a brief live, and then I've got a Zoom call, like a parent association call with my kids' school later. But I'll try and catch you if you are going live from your fashion show, Sheila. That would be brilliant. Hi, Kat, really nice to see you. Yes, so I have definitely been distracted by shiny object syndrome a lot over the years. And it's nearly like, for me, it's the situation where you go, okay, it's not, everything isn't going as brilliantly as I hope with my side hustle. So thinking about side hustles that I've had in the past. So the solution I've got to it is, well, lots of people seem to be doing this thing. So therefore, maybe I should dump hand stamp jewelry and I should make candles because everybody's making candles. So maybe I should move in and make candles. So that's quite a good example. And that has occurred to me before. But it's quite a good example of going, okay, your ideal customers, all the work that you've done, all the research around suppliers, all the envelopes that you've got to post out, everything that you've done to build that business, all the kind of repeat customers that you've got, as soon as you swap to something completely different, they might go with you, but they probably won't, because they just because you like a different thing doesn't mean that exactly the same people are going to like it. So when you get shiny object syndrome, so when you're so now what I do is I go, the question that I say to a lot of you, is this a hobby or a side hustle? Because I enjoy making candles and have learned how to make candles, but I realized I don't have to turn everything into a side hustle, like, because you cannot focus on the marketing activity that you need to do with loads of side hustles, in my opinion. I have 2 side hustles, as you know, in a day job, and that's difficult enough to keep the marketing going. And to be honest, on my hand stamped jewelry stuff, I do very little around the marketing. The marketing is focused on happy side hustle, because I think what is going to grow is what you focus your time and attention on. So if you're dividing that or constantly switching it, was this shiny object syndrome thing. So if you're constantly switching it from hand stamped jewelry to candles to personalized portraits, again on me, to what are other things I've thought about? There's something else I thought recently. I thought, oh, I could make that as well. When you're constantly doing that, the hard work is the beginning bit. It's getting the momentum going. It's that kind of getting the car up the hill. So you're setting up the side hustle. And of course, I'm a massive advocate of, once you know how to set up a side hustle, you can have unlimited numbers of them. And I say that regularly. And this is why I kind of want to come in and clarify here, because I know once you have the skill of doing it and you know how to market and you know how to manage your mindset around your side hustle, you'll see unlimited opportunities. And that's brilliant. However, every time you're spotting a new thing, we're pushing the car back up the hill again. And there comes a point where you've got your side hustle set up, you've got your ideal, you've started to build your audience. We're all constantly building, aren't we? But you've started to build your audience. You've got some repeat purchasers. You've got a little bit of traction going with whatever it is you offer. So you're sort of at the top of the hill and your car is starting to get a bit of momentum. When you go, oh, do you know what? It's not building as quickly as I want. I'll try something else because that'll be the answer. I guarantee you it won't be, because you still have that hard bit to go. So another kind of few months down the line, you're probably, if it's cash flow that you're looking for, you're probably not going to have additional cash flow, because you're starting again and you're taking your eye off the ball from the side hustle that's getting the momentum. So you're nearly putting the brakes on the car that's on its way down the hill. I hope that analogy, I don't usually use analogies, to be honest. I've got a couple of them up my sleeve, but that one has just occurred to me while I've been talking. My husband, I call him Metaphor Man. He's always tells me everything in some sort of metaphor or analogy. It must be infectious. But just be careful. Just because you spot something else and you think, I really enjoy doing that, it doesn't mean that thing has to be a side hustle. You can just keep that as a hobby. And remember, if you're constantly switching, so I had a conversation with somebody at the end of last week, and they were just going from one thing to like, okay, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to start this new thing. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to start this new thing. And they were exhausted. And they were exhausted because they hadn't really got traction on any of them. Because for those of you that are in Fast Track Your Happy side hustle, I don't think there's anybody on live that has commented that's on that just now, but we are on day 29 of a 30-day intensive side hustle setup program. And for those people, like, I can feel they're exhausted. Like, they're exhausted because it's full on, especially if you're trying to set it up. So I used to teach that over 8 weeks with some breaks. But actually, I find that just bringing it into 30 days and going, listen, it's going to be full on, you just have to go for it, has worked better this time, because people are just getting a little bit more momentum. However, it's still hard work. Like, it's still hard work. There's been lots of kind of mindset stuff that we've had to work through together, and the joy of doing it together is that everybody's kind of going through it at their own pace. But lots of those people are going to be launching their businesses tomorrow, which is so super exciting. But to do that business for say a few months and then spot something else and go, do you know what, I'm going to set up and launch something else and go through that process again, it's exhausting. Like, it's taken the fun out of it. So in summary, shiny object syndrome. If you're being called to do something else, if it's an add-on or a different, like a complementary product to what you do, that's not shiny object syndrome. That probably makes sense. So Cassie, the way you've got your business set up and the way you've got your new jewelry range and your service-based side hustle, that is not shiny object syndrome. That is a really great expansion of your talents and what you can offer. I'm talking about this sort of, so I used to make this, so I used to do crocheted things, and now I'm going to make fused glassware. So there's just not really a connection, other than there may be nice gifts. There's not really a connection between the two things. It's that jumping about. And as I say, you can have lots and lots and lots of side hustles over the course of your life. What will stop you from having the side hustle of your dreams is when you get to the top of the hill and you've done all that work, not keeping the momentum going. And just to clarify, you've heard me saying it loads of times, to keep the momentum going every single day, or at least every second day, you decide what works, but consistently, you need to be growing your audience, you need to be visible to your audience, and you need to be interacting and connecting with your audience. As long as you're doing those three things, your side hustle will continue to grow. When it stops, and when people say to me, I'm just not getting any sales, like it's just everything seems to have really stopped, and I look at their social media accounts, generally there's been no posts, or it's just been posts to the same people, just like information posts to the same people. If you're not constantly growing your audience, you're not connecting, the visibility piece is great, but it's not going to build the side hustle of your dreams. So the next time you get shiny object syndrome, I want you to check, is this a logical add-on to what I already do? And is it because I'm feeling like I'm not getting sales? See, if you're not getting sales, it's probably not because of the product or the service that you offer. I think it's much more likely that you're not growing your audience, you're not connecting with your audience, and you're not consistently being visible. Okay. Mariam, the description sounds like the expenses of my first texture. I was trying to juggle 3 or 4 different disjointed crafts. Now, if I deviate, it's linked to my values, core mission rather than a shiny object. Took a while for the penny to drop, though. Yeah, Mariam, and as I say, like all of these tips that I'm giving you, this is not from a place of judgment. Like, I've never done this. This is from a place of experience. I've done this loads. Like, I've done it loads, and I still have to stop myself. I'll find a new craft, or I'll find a new kind of way that I could coach people, or that's not totally connected to what I do now, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should do that, maybe I should do that. Oh, that sounds really interesting, because I think a lot of us love the creation side, we love learning, and we love the side hustle production side, but you have to pair it with the marketing and the mindset, otherwise you're not gonna. Let's not be magpies. Exactly, Gail, exactly. And as I say, not speaking from a position of judgment, because I definitely am a magpie, but just sharing, it's just frustrating. I find it frustrating for people when I see them like really starting to do well, and then just like stopping for a random reason and starting again. And then it feels hard. It feels hard again at the beginning. It's always hard at the beginning, like it's worth it. But there's not a part of me going, starting a side hustle is totally easy and getting all the sales you want is totally easy. Like, it's not easy, but it's possible and it's worth it. And you just have to prioritize right. Okay. I've got a parent association meeting at my school in like right now, so I'm going to have to go. I've got this one. There's one in April and one in June, which will be after my eldest son, or my youngest son, has left. So I've been doing these parent association meetings since they went to nursery, and now this is my 3rd last one. So wish me luck. Thank you for joining me on the Happy Hustle Show, and I will see you. I usually do these Monday and Thursday. I am so full on with my day job. It's probably just going to be Mondays until the end of March, and then we'll be back Monday and Thursday. But sign up. There's a link beside this video to sign up for Telegram notifications if you want a notification just before I go live, because they're always at a random time. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Yes, Atomic Habits, absolutely. Plateau of Latent Potential. Exactly, Gail. I'm glad you're reading it. Okay, right. Take care, everyone. Bye.